seem like some people, though, more than others, are preoccupied with the outcome of their shot to the point where they don't experience their shot.
The name of the game is to take really good care of each shot you're hitting. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Only the shot you're hitting. Then when you do that and you execute, you enjoy the execution more. But when you're worried about the outcome, you don't even experience the feeling of hitting a good shot. Well, I think Tennis 2000, we were able to include a little bit more research, so I'd probably use that one. I'd probably have one more book inside me, and then we'll be able to do even much more of the research projects that we ran.
All right, great. So who would you say were your strongest influences as a coach?
Well, I think Jack Kramer, by far. He was the best approach shot and volleyer that I've ever seen. When I was doing I was doing a video with Jack Kramer and Pancho Segura, and I said, Pancho, what was it like to play Jack? And he said, get off of me. That's how Jack affected people. But he could take a hard ball, a really fast shot, and his approach shot was elegant, deep, and also he spent a little time with a physicist, not a physicist, engineer, but going through some calculus problems on getting to the net and being the most efficient player at the net. So I think from that standpoint, I'm very disappointed in the game today because the wrapper around the shoulder shot, you only have a second and a half now to get to the net, and so the people who are wrapping around the shoulder, the center of gravity moves to the left. They can't make it. They almost have to call a cab to get to the net.
Well, so what would be the alternative? I mean, I know I saw you in Monterey at the World Conference, and you were discussing, getting your side to the net so that you can, take those sideways steps forward, not with the open stance. But that sounds problematic. I can't imagine people readily accepting not wrapping the racket around. So what would you propose there?
Yeah, no, I don't. I think that you're absolutely correct. But that's why tennis is boring on the TV, because they go to the net 4 or 5 times a match, and so now you're just watching people from the baseline. That's all right if you like it, but for me, it's I can't believe that a player, if 2 players get together and they're both baseliners, and one's better than the other to baseline, the player who's the worst just mails in his scores because he has no alternative plan. He can't mix it up. He can't vary things. And so the old system of getting the center of gravity out ahead, you've never seen a track star move to the left on the starting point and then go forward. They get that CG out in front, and they're ready to go. So I don't care if you want to come around your neck, as long as the center of gravity's out ahead and you're leaning forward into the ball, and now you can wave the racket around the sky, as far as I'm concerned. But the question now in modern tennis is efficient use of feet to hit every shot you're after. And you cannot hit an approach shot with an open stance unless you get a real short ball. So that's what the players today wait for. They wait for a short ball so they can finally get to the net. And if the person hits a deep ball on every shot, they're not going to the net the entire match.
Right. Are you ready for my crazy idea on how tennis could change and this we could get people back to the net?
Sure, you bet.
Okay. What if the court were 1 or 2 feet more narrow? Then the effect of the spin from the polyester strings would be mitigated to some degree, and guys who are 6'9" could no longer hit that flat serve out wide to the corner that nobody can get, and you then also you mitigate a lot of the injuries that come from the dramatic, side to side that people have to play. What do you think about the court becoming narrow?
Well, I think that it's right now it's only 19.1 degrees wide, and it looks like a 9-long narrow sidewalk, but the players are having to run too far out of court now. So like all other things, I say the idea is worth building a court and giving it a try. That's the number one thing, is you got to do research. It's like the problem we face today with 10 and under tennis. A lot of coaches are angry about the USTA's decision, but the thing is, it's up to us to prove that it's valuable or not valuable. And so research is the name of the game.
Yeah, and then just back to the narrowing of the court. If the court were just a little more narrow, then covering the net would be a little easier.
And it would be mandatory.
Hitting winners would require coming to the net, because it used to be that the truly offensive players were the net players, and the baseliners were more the defensive players. Now, Andy Roddick says coming to the net against Nadal is like running into headlong traffic.
Yeah, but when I look at the players, they do a split step when they get to the net, which I think is the worst thing I ever coached, was the split step. When I worked with the Bryan twins, I wanted to make sure that they were moving forward all the time. And when you're moving forward, we've done a lot of research on this. When you're moving forward, you can turn the corner and get to a sideline passing shot much faster than doing a split step, recruiting the muscle all over again and getting past.